is that dreams do come true. Mr. William A. Diggs, that school over there off of Davis Road, is named after William A. Diggs. We got that school name. You shaking your head. Yeah, it was a rainy night at Westlake High School when this lady and I went to defend that school to say that Mr. Diggs needed a school in his name. And we remember Theodore Davis, the middle school. There was a young man there saying that that school should be named Theodore Davis. But anyway, Mr. Diggs has a school named after him. And I'm proud to be a member of the society because I've seen the struggle. And I guess to close, sometimes we'd ask the county for nothing. They didn't give us a penny. And we're glad we did. The only thing the county did was, Ms. Webb, when was it? It was some time ago when Al Smith was commissioner. He came down to the house and he got stuck. It was a Christmas party. He and his wife were in the truck and he got stuck and he came into the house and he sat on Santa's lap, and Santa was Ms. Webb's son. He said, Santa, you know these people need a road. And Santa said, yes, they do, Mr. Commissioner. And he went back in January to the Board of Commissioners. Murray Levy was president then, and he said they need a road. So he and Danny Meir, two Republicans, okay, and I'm going to say that because we need to work together, two Republicans convinced Murray Levy and the other Democrats that we needed a road. So they gave us a road. It was $30,000. And because of that, we were able to get a bond bill. We didn't know at the time. You had to have county support to do that. So that was a godsend, but we didn't ask them for any money. And on November 14th of this year, Commissioner President Peter Murphy was smart enough to ask could they come to the house to visit on a Tuesday. And we said, okay. And the reason why he did that is because all 5 commissioners meet on Tuesday. So in between sessions, guess what he did? He had all of them to come down to the house, and we were so good to guess what? The county administrator came down, the deputy administrator came down, hey, the tourism director came down, and a few other people, and we got the county seal that day, and it's very nice. And I'm saying this because from lowly beginnings, we didn't know what was going to happen, but now we have a nice piece of property, 7.76 acres of land and a 2-story dwelling right down from the sheriff department beside Twin Kiss. And it belongs to us and everybody else in the community. So thank you. And it was good meeting you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith.
So, Mrs. Smith, now you see why I invited you. It just shows that working together, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And no matter how much the adversity may present itself, if you work together, you can achieve all things. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. And may I say something? See the law officer there?
Yes, ma'am.
My community of Malcolm, we work closely with them too. So it's good. It's all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Now on to presentation, recognition, resolution, ordinance, and petitions. Presentation, recognition. Proclamation, Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Whereas January 9th is recognized as a National Day of Law Enforcement Appreciation, and we honor the brave men and women in law enforcement that endeavor to protect the citizens of the county, we will unite in support of law enforcement officers nationwide to promote a National Law Enforcement Day. And whereas 780,000 law enforcement officers across the county put on a badge not knowing the dangers that they may face in the line of duty, and whereas on average between 105 and 203 officers in the line of duty die in the line of duty each year. 50,000 officers are assaulted in the line of duty each year. 14,000 officers are injured in the line of duty each year, and over 300 officers commit suicide each year. And whereas law enforcement officers put their lives on the line to defend the citizens against violent crime and work to keep our community safe, and whereas many law enforcement officers are community activists and role models for our youth, and whereas the well-being of the town of Indian Head residents is preserved and enhanced as a direct result of the vigilance of law enforcement officers. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the citizens of Indian Head, Maryland, honor local law enforcement officers for their dedication and hard work in protecting visitors to our community and city residents. Be it further proclaimed that the citizens of Indian Head, Maryland recognize the sacrifice made by law enforcement officers and their families who have died in the line of duty. And be it further proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the town of Indian Head does hereby proclaim January 9th as Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
So I'd like for everyone to give Officer Bryant a round of applause for everything you do for us.
We still need a motion and a second.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I'd like to motion that we accept the proclamation as read with a minor correction. I think it says county when it should say country. But being that motion is made, I'd like to seek approval.
I second that. Now on to resolutions, none. Ordinance. Annie, if you could introduce the ordinance
Sure.
01-01-18, please.
Ordinance 01-01-18, introduced by Mayor and Council. Date introduced January 2nd, 2018. Date adopted is tentatively February 5th, 2018. Date effective would be February 26th, 2018. An ordinance concerning amendment of FY 2017 budget for the purpose of amending the adopted budget for the Town of Indian Head for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2016 and ending June 30th, 2017, to recognize certain revenues received by the town and to appropriate certain funds for expenditure during the fiscal year, ratifying and validating certain obligations and expenditures incurred before the adoption of this ordinance, and generally related to the amendment of the town's FY 2017 budget. Now, there are 43 separate line items that are involved in the budget amendment, so I'm not going to make you sit through all those. I'm just going to read you the largest items. Those are increase account 010-4327, county broadband, from 0 to 67,000. Increase account 010-4347, county broadband, from 0 to 211,200. Increase account 010-4140, income tax, from 308,629 to 376,043. Sorry, one more. Increase account 16-5451, broadband, from 0 to 308,511. Of course, the draft of this ordinance will be available on the website, so you can see all 43 items prior to its adoption. But be it further enacted that the sums and amounts reflected in Section 1 of this ordinance are hereby recognized and appropriated retroactively for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2016, ending June 30th, 2017, and be it further enacted that the Town Council hereby ratifies, validates, and confirms all obligations and expenditures incurred before, but in anticipation of the adoption of this ordinance.
Thank you, Annie.
Could I elaborate on that just a little bit?
Sure.
Excuse me. Some of the things that took place, one is broadband. We got broadband through town. That was $211,000 that came from the state, $67,000 that came from the county. So we had to incorporate those funds. And we also had to include town funds into that amount as well, in the amount of $33,000. So we have to allocate for that in our budget, and we have to show that in our budget. So that's the main thing. And then the other main thing was the $67,000 tax mistake that the state made in the town's favor. So we got $67,000 additional dollars. And we, of course, spent that $67,000 additional dollars, and we just needed to show in those remaining 30-some-odd line items how we spent the money.
Thank you, Ryan. So, unfinished petitions, none. Unfinished business, none. New business, none. On to miscellaneous announcements of upcoming meetings. Community Activities Committee, Tuesday, January 9, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Town Hall, Community Affairs and Public Works closed. Monday, January 15th, no trash pickup, MLK Day. Planning Commission, Wednesday, January 17th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Town Council Work Session, Wednesday, January 24 at 3:30 p.m. in the Town Hall. Parks and Recs Commission, Wednesday, January 24, 7 p.m., Village Green Pavilion. Environmental Sustainability Committee, Wednesday, January 24, 7:30 at Village Green Pavilion. Town Meeting, Tuesday, February 5th.
That should be Monday. I'm sorry, that's a typo.
Monday, February 5th, 7:30 p.m., Village Green Pavilion. Annual Christmas tree removal, every Wednesday beginning December 27th through January 23rd. Now on to citizens' comment. please approach the podium and state the name for a record.
Good evening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
My name is Jeanette McCants, and I'm a resident of Indian Head, the incorporated town of Indian Head, and I'm a senior citizen. And that becomes important as I continue on with what I have to read, because you heard me say I was a senior, and I do have a tendency to kind of go off track sometimes. And it's cold in here, so I know you don't want to be listening to me all day. I moved to Indian Head in 2011, and I retired from the federal government in January of 2016. Now, retirement, that was my chance to do things that I've always wanted to do but never had the chance or the time because I was working. To make sure that I wasn't idle after retirement, prior to retirement, I visited the 3 senior centers, or the 4 senior centers in Charles County. The one in La Plata, Maryland, Waldorf, Maryland, Nanjemoy, and the one right here in Indian Head. It's just a couple of minutes away from this building. I currently attend and participate in programs and activities at 3 of the 4 senior centers. I'm also on the council at the La Plata Senior Center. Each senior center has a council of volunteers who assist the center's coordinator, and the council is the fundraising arm of the center. Now, enough about me. The mayor's message in the Smoke Signals Issue 60, Winter 2018, contained an initiative that caught my attention and coincides with an issue and initiative that I discussed with the current Charles County Department Community Services Director earlier this year. In the current issue of Smoke Signals, our mayor advised, and I quote, "We also submitted a bond bill request to our state delegation this month to create an Indian Head Recreation Center, and we will be pursuing a building for this purpose. The request was around $300,000 for the acquisition of the property that we hope will house activities for our youth, classrooms for tutoring, computer labs, and fun activity rooms," unquote. I applaud this initiative, but I believe the initiative for a recreation center could do more for the residents and the town of Indian Head and surrounding communities if the initiative is changed to a community center to house the Indian Head Senior Center, and it can also be a rec center. This is a win-win for our youth and for the seniors of Indian Head and the community and the surrounding area. The Community Head Senior Center is a well-kept secret, and in case you don't know, as I stated, it's just a minute or 2 away from us. It's in the little white historical building that looks like a one-room schoolhouse, but it's an absolute jewel to the residents of Indian Head and the surrounding communities and senior citizens 60 and older. The building has housed the senior center since about 1989, but due to its historical status, very few changes can be made to the building. Seniors attending the Indian Head Senior Center have access to a variety of activities and programs, such as billiards, cards, fitness training, Tai Chi, Pilates, groups for quilting, knitting, crocheting, painting, ceramics, the book club, reflection and inspiration discussions, programs, and services. This is only a snapshot of what's available to our seniors, not only at Indian Head, but at all of the senior centers throughout the county. Unfortunately, at Indian Head, space is a limitation. And since space is a limitation, it's also a limitation for our seniors. That means that if you want to, let's pretend, okay, this is just an example. I'm in the painting class, but today, painting is only held, the class is only held once a week. But I have a project that I want to work on. Well, the Indian Head is so small, I can't go to the center to work on that project. And that's because the center contains a multi-purpose room and nothing this size. Another smaller room, and that's where they have their classes, and a kitchen and the restrooms. But it doesn't avail the seniors who attend or the ones that want to attend the senior center appropriate space or room to do anything but what's on the agenda for that current day. Now, this isn't what is happening at all of the other senior centers within Charles County. And if our council members have not visited any of the other senior centers, I'd like you to call me, and I'll take you on a quick tour of the one at La Plata. And at that point, you'll understand why I'm recommending that the proposal for a rec center be changed to a community center that will support our seniors and our youth. And this is being currently incorporated in the new Waldorf Senior Center. It's going to move from the J.C. building to a new building in Waldorf by the post office on Post Office Road this summer. And it'll be a community center. The seniors will have it during the day until about 4, and in the evenings it'll be open to the community. And I want to repeat again, a new community center for Indian Head would be a win-win for the community and for the town. We're always trying to think of ways for additional traffic. Do you know how many people, and I can't give you a count, I won't, use the exercise room at the La Plata Center? It's just unbelievable. That side of the building is almost like a separate world to the seniors who use the other side for the group activities. So I would like you to take me up on that visit to the La Plata Center, and you'll see, you'll have a good idea of why I'm asking for a larger center, a new facility for Indian Head. Thanks for the time. You'll see me again. This is my mission now. Everybody has a mission or a pet rock. This is mine. So I'm starting at the lowest level. I have nothing to lose by, going step by step. And like I said, I'm retired now. I have the time, so I can take it away from some of my other projects to apply more time, patience, to see what I can do to help our seniors in this area. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Gartz. Ron Sittinlow, as a proud resident of town of Indian Head. Again, first of all, Happy New Year. Thank you for everyone who braved the cold this evening to come to our town meeting. Really appreciate that. In honor of that, we have some chocolates in the back towards the end when you leave. Please have those for us. So I'm here today just trying to highlight as a public service. I've been very honored and fortunate to have a council that is diverse, united, and a talented pool of professionals that work with us day in and day out at our town hall. Even with the limited resources in 2017, I believe we're able to accomplish a lot. And especially I'd like to thank Karen in terms of all the activities day in and day out that you do for everybody. And our town manager, Mr. Hicks, Annie, Ginger, everybody in our town hall. I really appreciate. We are very fortunate to have that professional team. We just wanted to highlight some of the 2017 accomplishments for our town. broadband was 211,000 from state and 67,000 from the county. Boardwalk changed to an 80-20 match, 3.3 million from the state. We also got a demolition grant outside the base for 50,000 from DHCD. MEA grant for senior center for 25,000. MDE grant for blowers for 200,000. And then we have a CBT, which is SPBA trust grant for Mattingly Park for 12,500. Upgrades to well, number 4. Online bill pay has gone operational. So quietly over the years, things have built up in the town of Indian Head. And it is not just us, but it is the legacy of all the effort of the public servants before us also who contributed their time and volunteerism towards this effort. One other thing that I would like to mention is we do have a very strong relationship with the base. And one of that fact came true 2 weeks earlier that my niece, who is just an 11th grader, got an internship to work with all the scientists in the base right here. And she's 17 and she's going to be making $3,300. And that's almost the whole year's salary that the town council makes. So again, we living in a small town, there's joys, there are opportunities that people who live in the bigger cities may not necessarily have. And for that, that was a wonderful news. And I hope our own town residents continue to seek an opportunity with the upcoming of the Velocity Center that we are going to be having in town, College of Southern Maryland moving in the town, and I believe 2018 is going to be much, much brighter than 2017. We are also going to be having, at least in the Perry Station is going to be starting with the Washington gas that is supposed to have happened. So persistence pays, teamwork pays, and like the lady recommended earlier, together, if we are united, we can accomplish a lot. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. And also, I'd like to